Hello, 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 mamas. Welcome to another amazing episode of Mom's Birthday. As usual, I'm your host, the most premium pie in Africa, and the recently elected 39th finest girl in Lagos, Nicole Chikwe. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Before we even get into it, first thing I want you to do is close your eyes, take a deep breath, put your hand on your chest, and say, Self, I'm doing the best that I can. Self, I'm doing the best that I can. Amazing, amazing. It's so exciting to be back. This episode is very special because this is the first episode we've had with more than one guest. Exciting. And this episode is also brought to you by Cerelac Jr., your bowl of assurance. My first guest is the beautiful, the bright, entrepreneur Elsie Okpocha. And over here, we have the amazing founder. Oh, she said stop already. The amazing, gorgeous, beautiful founder of the platform Wives and Mothers, Motunrayo Oyemade. Guys, welcome to the show, everybody.
Thank you.
Hand clap for yourselves.
Thank you.
Hand clap. So how are you guys feeling? Is this the first time you've done a podcast before?
Me? Yeah.
Okay, same with you.
Same here.
Yes. Okay, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Please, on your way out, see our producer who will give you half bag of rice, baskets of onions,
Christmas.
Are you sure?
one keg of palm
Are
oil.
you sure though?
I'm sure we're
Christmas is
capable.
done.
What do you mean?
Christmas is
is, don't worry, we
Thank
got
you.
you.
Thank
So
you.
for you, congratulations on being our first round table.
Thank you.
So I've done a brief intro. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself and what it is you do, Motunrayo?
I'm Oyemade Motunrayo, the founder of Wives and Mothers. It's a platform that inspires, educates, and motivates women around the world. We actually have a fan base of over 788,000 followers, and we actually post content related to motherhood, how to inspire them, how to keep them going in their everyday lives, basically.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you have children?
Of course, 3 girls.
3 girls. Oh, girl mom, that's amazing.
Thanks.
I think, Elsie, you have 3 kids as well.
Yes, I do.
So we're all like 3 gang.
I know, right? I just had a recent one.
Okay.
She's just 5 months old.
A brand new baby.
I
A girl
know,
as well.
A girl, a beautiful girl.
Amazing.
I know.
It must be so excited being back to being. Anyway, but we'll get to that. But also introduce yourself. Tell us a bit more about what you do and who you are.
I'm Elsie Okpocha, entrepreneur. I own a restaurant, Girl House Bistro. And I have 3 kids. I'm a beautiful wife and a friend and just an amazing person.
Amen.
Yes.
Better talk your talk. She said, I'm a beautiful wife and I'm an amazing person, period.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
And I had a look at your page, your restaurant. It looks amazing. Please
Thank you.
just
Patronize
look for my order. It's coming.
I'm
Because it's
excited.
looking mad.
It
I'm
is.
so excited.
It's delicious.
Oh,
Yes.
talk your talk.
I'm not bragging.
I'll order it tomorrow for sure. What this conversation is going to be about is toddlers. I currently have a toddler as well. She's 3 years old. And she... It's been such a trying period in my life.
I can imagine.
It has
Check on
been...
us, basically, because we're not okay.
We're not okay.
Mentally.
Like I say I'm fine, but I know I'm not okay. I know I'm not okay. I know what I'm going through.
That's where
I
we're
can
putting
imagine.
it through a lot. Like, she's just everywhere. She's everywhere.
That's exactly what it's like for me as well. And I think coupled with them being the last as well has just been such an incredible
Literally
time.
the last. Literally the last.
Okay,
I mean, the last.
Yeah, the last. So she has convinced you that
really,
this has
the
to be
last.
it. I can't do
I'm
this
done.
no more.
Done?
I'm done.
Okay.
You're not done. You're sounding like there's a
Like,
possibility.
you
Done.
This
No
you're done.
way I'm going again.
This you're
No,
done.
I'm done.
Is not sounding
I'm done.
confident. I don't
Done,
believe
done.
in
Like,
you.
really done.
I don't believe in you. We'll see.
I crave for this one. So yeah, actually wanted 3, so I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm done, I promise you.
Are you sure?
let's see. We'll see.
I can't do it again. I can't go through that phase of pregnancy again. No, never.
No. That's the thing. I keep saying it. If I did not have to be pregnant, if someone would just dash me babies, or if pregnancy was like a 6 week, like a 6 week like little thing, I would have 8 kids. I love kids, but I really hate
3 months
pregnancy.
Like if pregnancy could last for 3 months, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, I think 9 months is a little bit exaggerated.
Like almost a year. And some even go beyond 9 months.
Yeah, 10 months now.
Yeah, 10, 12, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, my mom took me, she had me like in her belly for 12 months. She told me 12 months.
God.
Yeah.
That must have been a very stressful time.
Very stressful for her.
Are you a stressful person?
I'm not. Trust me, I'm really simple.
Okay, that's good. It's good that you're simple because your mom deserves a simple and easy child. So I don't know if any of you has seen those memes or like videos on Instagram that have to do with like the oldest, middle, young, and last born. Yeah. So oldest, middle, youngest. So the oldest is always, like really prim and proper, well-behaved. And then the middle...
And the second one is just the troublemaker.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Yes. And so that one's a little bit eccentric.
That's the case for me.
And then the last one is just a diva, boy or girl, doesn't matter.
Let's see about that.
Well, exactly. Let's see about... But for you, the second was definitely...
In fact, I like key. At some point, I started to question the whole dynamics of why does the second one have to give me so much problems? Because the first one was
I don't understand
so
second
calm.
children.
Yes, the first one was so calm. He literally gave me little or no problem at all.
I can relate.
Stuff.
Same.
And then the second one just comes along, and then she's just everywhere.
Changes everything.
I'm like, no, but it didn't happen. Yeah, that's when I started to question a lot of things. But it didn't happen with my first. Why am I having to go through this with this girl? Why does she have to say no when the other one did not say no? Why is she giving me so much trouble? Yeah, so, and I started to see those memes on Instagram and understood that.
Accuracy.
Yeah, the accuracy.
Yeah, and I don't know what
it's the same for me.
Same with you?
For me, yeah. The first child, very calm. In fact, when I had her, our neighbor was like, "Are you sure you have a baby?" Because she's always quiet. She doesn't cry. Dara will never, she doesn't cry. Even till now, she's very emotional. But my second child, the neighborhood knew that I had a child. she was, till now, any small thing, crying. Like, that girl can drive you nuts. She can drive you literally nuts.
I wonder what that is.
I don't get it.
Same thing with me.
How it works?
I don't know. Same thing with me. First, my son, it was like, that's why I had another child almost immediately because he was just, it's such a wonderful. I was like, if it's like this to have children, what is really the big deal?
Just
and so, I had my second and I was like, oh, okay, it's a little bit stressful. But even then, even though she was quite stressful, it was manageable, it was okay. Then I go on like a break for about 4 years. I have my daughter, my current Oga in my house.
The boss.
Neso Chuku is dealing with me and dealing with everybody in the house. When Soso comes back from school, everybody's shaking. Like we're all on high alerts.
The third one has more issues.
Because she's, so the thing is
the drama queen.
That one, yeah.
The drama queen.
Drama.
Oh, okay, really?
Full drama, yes.
Expected.
Full drama, full drama.
Okay.
And because the other, so what would happen is, so she's 3 now, she just turned 3. If she wants something, right, she just goes like, mine. So she'll grab it from her brother or her sister. Okay. Her brother and her sister know that she's a baby, right, or a toddler.
I understand that.
So they'll just allow her, like, you know what, if it's like that, just, it's okay. My son is but he's a gentleman. He's not going to fight you for anything. So we're just okay, have it. But the problem is that she now thinks that, it's with her power that she collected the thing. So she's now like, yes, I won. She's now like, mine. So she'll just be going around like, mine. And she now thinks she's so strong.
How old is she?
Because she's 3.
Okay.
She's a very, very interesting child. If I brought her here, this place would be on fire. Everybody would know that something happened. So I definitely relate with those memes.
You don't think those things are hereditary?
I don't know if it's necessarily hereditary. I think it's more of like a nurture thing. I feel like with at least in my own experience, with my first, I was very, very diligent. You know, I had read all the books. I was like, okay, set boundaries to this, to that, bedtime is this time, nap time is this time. By the time I had my second, I was tired. I can't lie. And I was pregnant, you know, so soon after. I just didn't have I have less and less energy with each child. So
I think it's just basically...
By the time I get to I'm just like, you know what? Okay. And because of that, she's like, oh, this woman doesn't have exactly. She doesn't have strength, but I do. And so she is letting me know, she's giving me the business at home. So it's been a very interesting journey. I'm so glad to know that I'm not alone. And that's a wonderful thing about, you know, motherhood platforms like the one you have, and with you sharing about your motherhood journey as well. And just for moms to know that they are not alone, because it feels so relieving. Yeah, it feels so relieving, because you're like, is it only my child that does this?
Yes, we're all dealing with the same thing.
I swear.
Yes.
So speaking of what we're dealing with and struggles, I know you're not currently there, but you have been there in terms of feeding. So my daughter is...
Another topic, major one.
Yes. Very picky eater, and she only likes to eat when it's with her dad. If you give her the exact same thing, she won't eat it. But when her dad is eating it, she'll now cozy up, she'll now bring her place, they'll now be doing boyfriend, girlfriend, eating together. I'm looking at them, I'm like, so you see, no routine. They say, oh, table, we are not doing. But you people are just scattering all the, but you know, he's just like, well, if she's eating,
that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Really.
Have you ever had any issues, especially at this age? Because obviously it's easier when you get to choose for them. It's milk, you know, it's breast milk, and then they transition. Did you ever have any issues with them transitioning, and how did you stay on top of that?
Okay, like all my 3 children, I did exclusive breastfeeding.
Okay, amazing.
So, while trying to transition, I tried to give them solids. So they're always very picky. Most time, we're always wasting food. I try to do the homemade. I try to do good mom. You know, not doesn't mean others that tried normal foods are actually bad. But I try to, you know, I do the homemade food, blend, puree, do everything. But at some point, she started taking homemade food. She started taking Cerelac. You know, yeah, she started taking Cerelac at some point. She started taking. Then later on, she now got used to Cerelac Junior. She loved it. Then I give her blended puree, apple, you know, and with time she started getting accustomed to the food. So now she's taking homemade food. Like, we don't blend again.
Oh, amazing.
We don't blend. So she takes normal food. She takes amala, eba, anything you give her now, she takes it. So the cereals, I just add it to probably lunch, and she even take fruits.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. How about you, Elsie? Any struggles with feeding?
I had a lot of struggle.
At that age.
I had a lot of struggle. Thing is, you know, people would always say, or always have their opinions. And they said, oh, the mistake I made was not introduce it early. Maybe that's the mistake I made. So they got used to eating certain food. So when I try to introduce the solids, like you did, at the right time, or at the time I'm supposed to do that, it didn't work for me, you know, and then it became a struggle. And then, you know how you just feel like this child is not getting enough nutrition, yeah? And then, like you said, I started to try this and try that and then you see people give you their own suggestions. Oh, have you tried this? Oh, have you tried that? Oh, no, you need to do this. And then I told someone, at some point I just stopped eating because I didn't feel like, why should I even be eating when my child is not eating?
Oh my goodness.
It was such a struggle because I would go into the room and cry. Like I would literally cry. This happened with my first son. So by the time I had the second, I'd learned a lot from my mistakes with the first one. So when I tried to introduce solid, it just felt, maybe I did it too late. You know, so he just didn't want it. He wanted just his milk, you know, and then he needed, because he was growing, so he needed certain foods to help him.
Of course.
But those foods he refused to take. And so when I had the second one, I tried not to make that mistake again, So yeah, I gradually started to introduce the foods that I know that she needed at the right time, So that I'm gonna do with the same child, So yeah, basically that's what happened. I just feel like there's a lot of struggle with that transition with some kids. They just feel like with this food, I shouldn't change.
Exactly, this is what I've been doing.
They don't want to try new foods,
They don't want to. Most kids do not want to.
Yeah.
So even when you try to introduce the spoon feeding, it's always still a struggle. So I know that my son had the bottle feeding for as long as, let's say, 2 years. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to spoon feed. So you can imagine me feeding my son just milk. And then so I'll try, as much as it's not advisable to put cereal in a bottle, I'll still try to do that, just so that he had something, just going into that system. So yeah, for me it was a struggle at first.
It was a struggle.
And it was really a struggle trying to transition.
That's so incredible. What really, I really got from what you just said was, people don't realize how emotional feeding is. It's just one of those things that people just assume.
It's mentally draining.
You should be able to get right.
Like you just, what should I do? What can I do to satisfy this?
What am I doing wrong?
What can she eat?
Exactly. And this child is not getting the nutrition that
I really want her to
needs.
be
And I guess what you're spending
healthy
so much
and all.
on a particular brand, and then that child is not taking it. And then you have to do away with that brand and try another brand. And you're still, in all this, you're spending money. So it's just heartbreaking. And yes, I will not lie, I suffered.
It's hard. It's hard. It is emotional.
I cried. I cried, I really cried.
It is mentally draining.
Because I would think about it and I'll now worry. And I just felt like I wasn't a good mom. I had that feeling that I wasn't doing good as a mom. And I just felt like, I don't know. It was like, it was really emotional for me, because I would read, I would ask questions. I just feel, okay, and then you see other kids eating, and then your own child is not eating. And I just felt I was not doing something right, At the end of the day, it's just so funny that this child is now a foodie. So sometimes as mothers, we worry when our kids don't eat. But I just feel like if that child is taking something, if something is going into his system, that's okay. We shouldn't kill ourselves. It shouldn't always be, oh, you must eat certain food, or you must eat this. Do that at his own pace. Don't get angry at a child because he or she is not eating. What if you don't want to eat that food? Because as an adult, they give you something to eat and you don't want it. What do? You don't want it.
You don't want it, yeah.
That's what happened with the child. And so you give a child this and he or she doesn't want it. Let he or her be. Give that child what he or she wants to eat. And then guess what? They're going to grow out of it eventually. So it's all about, okay, having that time with the family. Okay, put that food on the table with the family and see how that child gets on with it. Okay, introduce screen time for that child and see, okay, if he or she's going to eat while watching something. It's because at the end of the day, they are going to still go through that phase. Like I said, my son is now a foodie. And I used to look back and I go like, why did I have to worry so much? Why did I have to cry so much? Because I cried so much. That child eats well now. So I'm sure as mothers, there are mothers that can relate to what I'm saying. You're worrying that the child is not getting a lot of nutrients or the nutrients that is needed, and you're just killing yourself and, beating yourself up, and then, thinking and overthinking and feeling like you're a bad mother. But the truth is, you're doing your best. You're actually doing your best.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's very difficult because you feel like as a mom, the very least you can do for your child is feed the child. You are biologically designed to feed the child,
to nurture the
to
child.
nurture the child. Your body even produces food for a child. So how is it that this isn't working? And I read all the books, and then of course the comparison. But look at this mom and her child, and the child loves vegetables.
Getting chubbier.
Exactly.
Your child are like,
what is happening?
See, at some point, I told myself that I won't compare my child to another person's child. They are different. I tell even mothers that come to my DM, I tell them, if your child is not walking now, doesn't mean that the child won't walk. Every children grew at their pace. The fact that your first child walked at 6 does not mean that the second child will walk at 6 months. Sorry, 9 months. The fact that the first child walked at 9 months does not mean the second child will walk at 9 months. Some walk 1 year, 4 months. Some walk 1 year, 3 months. Do you understand? So they are every child and their pace.
I agree. I think that's the conclusion, really.
Yeah,
puts it beautifully.
yeah.
Every child at their pace. Okay, so speaking of feeding, it's a difficult one, and some kids do better than others. But the great thing is that if you're transitioning, at least you have options. So for myself, my daughter is very much in that period. I'd mentioned that she struggles. She's just she's just a little bit fussy. So she kind of picks her food and she eats with her dad. She loves eating with her dad. In fact, I think that's even the issue. The issue is that's their time. So she just wants to eat when they're together. And I'm just there like, okay, better leave my husband alone. But maybe that's the thing. But at least I'm assured that she's getting the nutrients that she needs because we use Cerelac Junior. So yes, I'm glad that she's able to get solids when she can. And I'm glad that it's a phase and eventually she'll start eating more and more solids. But I've never really had to be worried about the nutritional aspect because at least I know I have that covered because she's very happy to eat Cerelac Junior. So at least for moms who in a similar situation where your child is around 3 and is transitioning and you're not sure and you're worried about nutritional intake of your child, there are options out there in something like a Cerelac Junior, for example. Okay, so the name of this show is Mom's Worst Day. So I will ask you first, Motunrayo, what is the worst thing about having a 3-year-old?
When Jomi turned 3. Jomi is a very calm child. When she turned 3, she could be very calm, she could be very hyper, she could be very playful. But that transition from 2 to 3 years, it was hell for me. It was hell because I realized that Jomi was a very defiant child in the sense that she wants what she wants. If you don't give her what she wants, she won't stop pestering you. Like, if you are actually doing something and Jomi comes to meet you that, okay, mommy, I want food, or I want something, I want to drink water, or something, or if she doesn't get what she wants, she won't let you be. She'll get that thing, then you can now do whatever you want. So if she wants your attention, you must give her that attention. Even if you are doing anything, just leave what you are doing. She doesn't care. Just leave what you are doing and focus on her. If not, you will hear it. You will hear it. Like, honestly. So, like, during that period, she was all over the place, crying, fussy, eating. Even to feed herself, it was always a struggle. Like, she's very picky. Jomi was very picky when she turned 3, but now she eats anything because now she's 5.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, so when she turned 3, she was always very picky. So I had to, I gave her different solids, food. Sometimes she rejects cereal. The time she rejects home food. So, anything that she wants, even if you ask her that, Jomi, what do you really want to eat? Tell me what you want to eat. She will not even tell you. Sometimes she goes to bed hungry. I can't keep myself because
I know that's right.
Because I've given her different food and she rejected it. So what do you want? When she's really hungry, then she'll come
and meet you, and that's fine.
Even till now, she's even picky. Till now, she's very picky. Jomi is still picky. When you give her a food she doesn't like sweet potatoes. So when you fry, if you give her
and
potato
tell
and
you,
ketchup,
sweet potato,
if you give her potato and ketchup, she would not eat it. Even I'll keep the food. Okay, when you're hungry, during lunchtime, you eat it. She won't eat it. Until you throw that food away, she won't eat that food. Especially when the food is not peppery. You have finished that.
Has she ever disgraced you outside?
Like that girl, like she's the boss. Like honestly, you need to meet her. She's the boss of her own. Like if you're outside, and you even tell them, you know we're outside. Try and be calm. Don't do. You know we're outside. Don't go for where. She will show herself anywhere.
Anywhere. That sounds very similar to mine. How about you, Elsie? What is the worst thing about having a toddler, a 3-year-old?
There's a point where they always tell you no.
Ah.
You see that no?
That no is
drives
no.
me crazy.
It's like, but what do you
And then you
actually
go like,
mean?
well, I remember those days you tell them, sit here, and they sit.
Yes, mommy.
Come
Then
here,
they'll
baby,
go.
and they come. Now you tell them to this, and they tell you no. I'll try
No means no.
It drives me crazy. Because then, you know they're toddlers, so you can't actually do much. You can't punish them. So you just go like, you're bottling all the anger, and then just like, okay, Elsie, calm down. You know. So yeah, that's basically, see that phase where they just say no to everything you say. And then the part where, like I mentioned earlier, part where your child just refuses to eat. I don't know, for me, I feel like that's every mother's struggle. You see, when a child refuses to eat, it's a problem. It's a big problem. I mean, food is essential, you know, and, but then, when I eventually got Cerelac Junior, she started to like it. And then the funny thing is, I'd spent money on various brands, like money, like, you know how you want to get this one because, it's expensive, she's gonna eat it, you know?
It doesn't work like that.
It's not by that, so
Doesn't work like
at
that.
all.
You see that at the end of the day, it's not even about that.
You realize that they will take
yeah.
pap over any other expensive
So the point where
brand.
your child doesn't eat, for me, is always the worst time. You're eating, right? And your child is not eating. You are going crazy. Because first of all, it affects your weight.
Of course.
They're not getting
don't look
enough,
good. They don't
they're
look
not getting
healthy.
enough nutrition. So yeah.
They go for doctor's
me,
appointments. The doctor
Yeah.
is like,
you
this
feeding your
weight,
child?
you know, like,
Yes.
well, and
So
you're,
yeah,
They used to feel guilty.
that's my,
like,
exactly.
that has always been my biggest struggle. Yes, for me, that's because I mean the early stages, the sleepless nights, where they're still babies. You
3
know,
months, first 3 months. Oh,
yes,
That's
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. My blood
that's your
pressure went
current
high.
reality.
But this
Another
new
topic for
baby,
another day.
my blood pressure just went high. It went so high because I wasn't sleeping. Yes. So aside this stage, the other one is the toddler stage where, yes, they're now picky eaters, they're not eating, you're forcing that child to eat. He or she is not still wanting to eat. And then you're trying different foods and yeah, so
That's
yeah.
difficult.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the best thing about having a toddler, a 3-year-old?
They're very attached to you. Very attached. Like, a 3-year-old is very, like, she just wants to be around you, cuddly. They could be very sweet.
Yes.
I love you, mommy. When they're trying to talk, you know, that's that period when they're trying to talk, it feels so good. Calling mommy, calling I love you. You know, all those stuff really makes you feel good. It makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like it's totally worth it. The stress, the tantrums, the all over the place. So at the end of the day, if they do anything wrong, mommy, I love you. They use that to bribe me.
Exactly. That's
So it's really
amazing.
awesome. It's really awesome.
How about you, Elsie? What would you say is the best thing about having a toddler?
Well, the fact that they start to have conversations with you,
Yeah.
very funny conversations, like they're all over the place. I remember when my daughter was 3, she would want to make my hair. I mean, I have pictures and I'll look back and I'll go like, oh my God. You know, she'd want to make my hair. She'd want to do stuff for me, adult stuff. She'd want to make me up. She want to do all that girly stuff, you know. And then the fact that they have older ones, they literally want to follow in the footsteps.
Of course,
yes. So yeah, that's the thing about having a second or a third. You know, they now look. Yes, they look up to the older one. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it's basically the whole conversation. They get into talk too much. Yeah? It's always a beautiful experience. Yes. I always love that part.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the same thing. Just watching a baby, right? So you knew this child when the child was helpless.
Yes.
You could only communicate when they were crying. Communicate with you through crying and things like that. And now this baby can be like your friend. So my daughter is like that as well. Like even this morning, she'll come, oh, what are you wearing, mommy? And she'll say, oh, no, not that one. I'm like, ma'am, this one I'm wearing. She's like, okay. She'll wear that. She'll say, oh, your makeup. And she knows after, the foundation, then she'll say, okay, your lipstick.
Yes.
Your lipstick, she'll now put it. Then, oh, your shoes. Then, and I put on my shoes. She's like, wow.
She actually brings, like when I'm
Exactly.
going out, she brings the shoes for me to wear.
Yes, exactly. My daughter does that too. And then when you get dressed, she's like, wow. She's like, wow,
beautiful.
you look like a princess. I'm like, thank you so
So emotional.
It's so emotional. It's such a gift. So while it's a very, very trying period, it's also so rewarding and so beautiful. It's worth it.
To enjoy it.
Yeah, so enjoy it. It seems tough, but it really does have some very beautiful moments. Amazing. So we're almost at the end here. And typically what I do on the show is, I'm a big believer in affirmations. I love affirmations. I think that it's something that everyone, but in particular, women really need to adopt. Just saying positive things to yourself throughout the day. Because as women, we really tend to be hard on ourselves. Yes. So you already constantly feel like, oh, you're failing, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So something that really, really changed my mindset in terms of the way I look at myself is affirmations. I'm finding something every day to tell myself and hold on to it. So I'm going to share my affirmation of the day with you guys. And then I want you to tell me what you're getting from that. Like, what is this affirmation saying to me? Okay? Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So my affirmation for today is, today there is peace and love in my home, even in the midst of chaos. There is peace and love in my home, even in the midst of chaos. Okay, so what are you getting? What are you getting, Motunrayo? What are you getting?
Okay, amidst the turbulence, amidst the stress and everything, choose peace and choose love. Yeah.
Amazing. How about you, Elsie?
Basically, we need to focus on the good parts of everything inside the whole trouble. For example, somebody upsets you outside the house. You know that when you go home, you're gonna see your children, you're gonna see your husband. It's gonna bring you all the happiness again. Just seeing them gives you that joy. So you don't even care about anything. Yes.
Exactly. That's beautiful.
So let's always stay focused on the positives. I mean, it happens.
Absolutely.
Yes. You're upset today, and then you think of your children. Let me speak for myself. Sometimes I'm upset, and I think of my baby, and I'm like, oh, my beautiful baby. And I forget every other thing.
Yes.
You know, nothing exists anymore. I'm just focused on that child. You know, yes. So yes.
That's amazing. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, what I'm getting from that is, even I agree with you with like the troubles outside, but sometimes there's also chaos inside.
Inside, yeah.
Inside and outside.
Inside, exactly. And even when that chaos is present,
Choose peace.
you know that there's peace, you know that there's love, and I'm choosing it. There's peace in this home, there's love in this home, regardless of what is going on the inside. My living room might look a complete mess because my children would have turned into a war zone, but there is peace and love in this home.
Amazing.
Amazing. I really like that one, actually. I'm going to write that down when I get home.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, so this was so amazing, ladies. This
Yeah,
was such
thank you for having
a good
us.
chat. Like I said, congrats, please. The producers, I'm saying this because I don't have the rice with me. But I'm just trusting.
How come you don't have the rice?
That's gonna be
I'm just trusting that the producers would have made available the rice,
I'm sure they
onions,
have.
and one keg
I'm sure they have.
of palm oil because you deserve
palm oil
it.
or veg oil? I
Palm
think
oil.
veg oil.
Palm oil, please, palm oil. No, the veg oil. The price now. I'm
Let's not go
please,
there.
let's not go there. Just manage the palm oil, please. It's small. So the next time you come, it will be vegetable oil. Don't worry. So thank you both for coming. It was so amazing.
Such an amazing
And thank you guys. Thank you once again for tuning in. I love these moments to be able to connect with you and connect with other moms. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. This was so fun. And this episode was brought to you by Cerelac Jr., your bowl of assurance. Until next time, bye.